What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. Match reaction time. Crystal Palace versus Leeds United. And listen, we just had to take that point and run. It's as simple as that. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I can't imagine this going long. I've literally got less than 2 pages worth of notes. I mean, it was that bad. Um, as you come in, obviously, please smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And yeah, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. I mean, positive straight off, another clean sheet. So, that's another clean sheet in the bank. 5 points ahead of Everton in from who are third from bottom. So again, it's about not losing, it's about keeping the unbeaten momentum. But boy, oh boy, it was ugly tonight. There's no dressing this one up. Beefy, hopefully a 4-1, or if this was before, hopefully a 4-1 win for the Mighty Whites tonight, just like the Flyers against the Penguins. Listen, your Flyers have got the summer off, okay? You got to scout for the first draft pick. We've got the playoffs to get to, all right, Beefy? Mark York Whites, hey KG, a point to point. Not sure what system we were playing, but it didn't involve passing to each other. I mean, it was. Yeesh, wee. Um, G Dean, hey KG, poor performance, tough game, but a point at least. Yeah. Listen, yeah, Mark Campbell probably sums it up. I probably can just leave now. Poor game, good point. Yeah, it was bad. But yeah, I mean, look, let's just quickly get into it. Um, I mean, Keith saying Palace the better team tonight, but a good point looking at it now. Palace were definitely the better team. If there's anyone going to score tonight, it was Crystal Palace. Let's not be blind about it. Palace were much better and they were much more threatening going forward. But I mean, that's a good one. Bonesaw. We can see games out now. That's a plus, and that's something that we couldn't say a couple months ago. But boy, oh boy, that was a tough watch. But yeah, listen, lineup. Great to see Calvin back. Of course, great to see him back, and you could see that the team Palace weren't playing through us. I mean, they are more of a wide team anyway. But Calvin's presence alone give us a bit more steel in midfield. I'm not sure about what click. I mean, he got subbed at half time. I'm not sure if that was a tactical thing, but it was good to see KP back in there. I thought Palace, we could get a Palace as well. I thought they had their weak sides as well with both Joel Ward and Nathaniel Klein playing. So I thought as much as we had a few holes, I thought they did as well. And not only that, and also there James McArthur in there as well, which is like our equivalent of Adam Forshaw, Mark Noble, those kind of players. But yeah, yet again, and I mean, I tweeted it before because if there was a game, I thought Sam Greenwood could have started today, him or Joe Gelhardt, just to give us a real striker up front. And yet again, and this is again, it's not on Dan James. I said it under Bielsa, and I'll say it under Marsh. It's not his fault. He's not a striker. We're asking him to go up against Gahey and Anderson. And I said it in my preview. Them two look like they've played together for about 3 years, let alone just one season. But again, up front, it wasn't doing nothing for Dan James. The only times that he had a bit of joy was when he drifted out wide. So it would be nice just to see Gelhardt or Sam Greenwood just start a game up front. But listen, the next game is Man City. I don't think it matters who we start up front, man. We might want to start a few more defenders if I'm thinking about it still. But listen. Lewis saying, I think the narrow style stagnates the counter so much. It's because, Lewis, we're not playing with actual attacking midfielders. We're asking wingers to come in, and it's not their natural thing. It's a bit like Dan James playing up front. We're asking wingers to play inwards, inverted, and it's not their game. So once again, I will say, I think we have to wait until the summer, until we get in the personnel that suits the system. Because if you've got actual attacking midfielders playing in there, it works much better. It looks more fluid. Right now, man, it's all disjointed. Let's be honest, it's very disjointed. But we've got to take the positive and take the point from Palace. And I mean, I think I said 2-2, but listen, 2 clean sheets in a row, that's nothing to sniff at. So yeah, I mean, listen, there's not much to cover. There's not much to cover at all. The best thing I could come up with in the first half was that both teams were up for it. I thought both teams were definitely playing for the win. It's just that both teams had a lack of quality throughout the game going forward. there was a few defensive errors on our point from Dallas and Cooper in the first half, but likewise in the second half, I thought Cooper covered for Llorente a few times. So again, it kind of just went hand in hand with all our defense. Apart from one person, I'm going to give him his props. You probably already seen it in the title, but I thought the defense was a little bit all over the place at various times. And Robin Koch came on at half time and he misplaced two simple passes that almost let Palace through. And it's like, once again, we need to see Robin Koch in his natural centre back position. But listen, something else I noted as well: defensive coverage on set pieces, indirect free kicks, much better. It's been much improved under Jesse Marsh. Has to be said. I don't worry as much every time there's a corner against us now. When there's a free kick against us, I think we're much better organised in this system under Jesse Marsh. So have to give them props for that. I thought it was a good battle. Click and Ayling versus Zaha. Everyone knows, and this is again something I'm really proud of with the players. I have to say, we probably wouldn't have done that a few months ago, but we probably encouraged to do that now under Jesse Marsh, and that is get under players' skin. You know, I know Alioski was natural at it last season, but that's just his character, right? But you saw Click, you saw Ayling throughout the game go up against Zaha because everyone knows Zaha, as talented as he is, and he's a wicked player. He is, but he's easily wound up. He's easily wound up, and I think they were feeding into that a little bit and trying to throw him off his game, and it kind of worked. Zaha did get the better of Luke Ayling a couple of times, but I thought that Ayling. I'm gonna talk on that in a minute. I want to talk about it at the end of it because there really isn't much to cover. I promise. Second half, came on for Mateus Click. I don't know why. Maybe if you're listening to the Jesse Marsh comments, you could let me know. Rafinha had a good chance going through right at the start of the second half. And then there was that Dan James tackle on Joel Ward. And I got to say, the way that he tackled Joel Ward tells me that was just more out of frustration of that just nothing was going for Dan James all game. I just think that tackle was out of frustration because he was up front and he was hardly receiving the ball. All the balls were either going over his head or going too far wide of him. And I just think that his tackle on Joel Ward was a sign of frustration. Greenwood coming on for Dan James at 59 minutes. It's interesting that for me that Greenwood is getting on ahead of Gelhardt. Has Greenwood now jumped Gelhardt in the pecking order under Jesse Marsh? It's interesting to see because we all thought that Joe Gelhardt was going to be the next one, but maybe he sees a little bit more in Sam Greenwood's game. It's going to be something to look out for. Elise came on for AU. Yeah, Llorente's penalty shout on Gallagher where it came off his bottom. Can't say that was a penalty. It came off his bottom. Rodrigo came off of Gelhardt. Yeah, Rodrigo didn't have his best game today. There was a lot of misplaced passes from Rodrigo today. It wasn't his best outing at all. But you know what? We'll see what he's got in the next one against Man City. Eze came off a schlup. Melier double save in 80 minutes. Blah, blah, blah. Bob's your uncle. That's 0-0. But like I say, I think Palace were the better team. Not going to take anything away from them. But yeah, we have to take this point and move on. 5 points clear at Everton. And what I would say is, I mean, Caspodinho, a point gained or two lost. It's a point gained with the performance that we put in today. It's got to be. I am worried. I am worried for the next one though against Man City. I'm not going to lie because we've had games like this, and if we had S-house this one 1-0, it wouldn't have surprised me because that's kind of what we've been doing. But if we allow players like De Bruyne, Gundogan, Silva, Grealish, and all these guys to have some of the touches that Palace had today, oh, I don't know. It might get ugly on Saturday night, but let's see what we can do. Sam S, I can see why Marsh mentioned we need another striker if that's our style. Someone to hold it and get the knockdowns. Yeah, I think he's looking for a more natural striker up front. I think you can go with Rodrigo as a 10. I do. But I think you need an actual killer up front to get the rest of it because Dan James is not it. Just going to get a couple of the super chats and thank you for the support, Jason Redshaw. The minute Cut came in for Click, Jesse was playing for a draw and a point. Good point. He also would have gone for a win. He would have lost. Well done, Jesse Marsh. He keeps us up. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Lee Waters, big supporter of the channel. For me, it's Cooper or Ayling for man of the match. Bill did well against Zaha. Jesse's doing his job, 5 unbeaten, better than before he came. Marching on together, bring on City. And that's it. I mean, hold on a minute. Mm-mm. Yeah, I mean, listen, it really is at this point about just picking up the points. And ideally, 3 points would have been beautiful tonight. It would have, with what Burnley have done recently. But I just look at the body language of Everton, and I know there's a lot of Leeds fans that are a bit worried about relegation still, because I get it in the comments and everything else like that. But speak to Everton fans, and they're absolutely terrified of it. They really can't see where the next win's coming from. So we're looking at Everton's fixtures and thinking, that could be decent. That could be all right. They're looking at it and saying, I can't see where this team is going to get a win from. But I'm saying keep an eye on what we're doing at this moment in time, because we're not losing right now. We're not losing. So listen, that is the positive from tonight. That is the positive. Monster energy after 10 p.m. Madman. Listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, listen, I know there's not a lot to talk about today, people, in terms of the performance. Tell me how you feel in terms of league position, what you thought tonight, etc., etc. But yes, let me talk about Luke Ayling today. Luke Ayling today, man of the match for me, easily. It's not even close as well. He was put on the task of going up against Wilfred Zaha, and I think he excelled. Zaha is always going to get away from you once or twice. He's just going to do that. But I thought Luke Ayling was terrific tonight. And even going forward, he gave us an outlet on the flank, but the crosses obviously just didn't go anywhere. We don't have that person in the middle. But Luke Ayling, and he was doing some of the dark art stuff. You know me, I love that stuff. He was getting away with it. I don't even think he got a yellow card. Somebody just confirm that with me. I don't know if Ayling got a yellow card or not. But either way, he got away with quite a few fouls. But he played it smartly. He made them look like accidental collisions. That's how you play the game in the Premier League. So full credit to Luke Ayling tonight. Absolutely, for me, the best performance he's put in this season, and it's not even close. Absolutely not even close. Dave, Ayling did very well to deal with him. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Josh confirming no yellow for Ayling, just James and Llorente. You've got to say that's tremendous for him to get away with some of the stuff he did tonight without a yellow card. Tremendous, wicked, wicked. Z, absolute pleasure to watch you as always, KG. Keep up the good work, my man. Now, thank you, and thank you all for tuning in on was a very, very much terrible, terrible game. That's why this isn't going to go very long today. Over 200 of you in the building. Please smash a like on the video, and if you're watching the replay, please smash the like if you're watching the repeat video. PSF saying 1 game at a time, we're hard to beat. Hey, we'll see in the next one. We'll see in the next one. Shelley saying, I'm terrified. All I heard on commentary on the bus home was Palace possession, at least a point, but we need to get better. 5 live commentators were praising Ayling. Yeah, he deserved all of it. He deserved all the praise today. Absolutely deserved all of it. Lewis saying, Marsh the Dark Arts, Gandalf. And even when I think it was it Click and Zaha that got into it in the first half. You saw Jesse Marsh go over and he was chatting to Vieira, he's chatting to the fourth official. It's so nice to see that again. I mean, it's just the small things, but it means a lot. It really does give you edges here and there throughout the game. So yeah, credit for that. Can't say credit for the football. I really can't. I just really can't. For Marco Pollard, Firpo is fit now. Hope Dallas stays available till the end of the season, or it could be scary. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I think Dallas was a weak link tonight. I really do. I don't think he was good at all. Whereas Cooper was a little bit switched off in the first half, but then picked up in the second. Llorente likewise, vice versa with Cooper. I thought Dallas was poor throughout, and it's not the first time I've said that this season. We need to get an actual left back in, and I don't know if Firpo will be any better for the rest of the season. But for me, I would rather see a natural left back at that point, because I don't think it can be any worse. I really don't. I don't think it can be any worse than what we're seeing. Dallas just it wasn't working with him and Harrison down the left. There was times when Harrison would go forward and you didn't see Dallas there, and then when you went back, Dallas would sometimes be missing, and it would be Cooper going over, and Harrison was nowhere to be seen. Yes, yeah, I've just haven't been convinced with Dallas. I still like him, and I still think he's a valuable player to the team. I do, but just not starting left back. Dave saying Dallas couldn't string a pass together to save his life. He wasn't the only one, Dave, but yeah, it was definitely noticeable with Dallas today. Um, I mean, listen, look. I mean, look what we're having to choose. I mean, this is what I'm talking about: recruitment in the summer. We can't just Dallas or Furpo and ay caramba. Who knows with the super chat? Thank you for the donation, man. Imagine 5 unbeaten, 2 clean sheets. Is this Leeds? You see how stats look deceiving, though, because anyone sees that, you're thinking, "Wow, we must be playing some really good stuff." Let them stats just, oh my days, they just paint a whole different picture. A lot of you saying Blinky, like with Blinky Fish, scrappy point, but I'll take it. Michael S, can we beat City? Yay. Econ saying you could tell Dallas was frustrated with his performance at the end. Probably. Can we beat City? I'm going to say no. But I hope that my team proves me wrong. Of course, you know the drill, people. If I don't think we're going to win, please prove me wrong. But you talk about Man City here. You talk about football that is. Think about how much possession Palace had today, times that for Man City on Saturday. We just. I don't think we're going to get near them. I'm going to be honest. I really don't. Bandy's optimistic though. With the right selection, we will beat Blue Manchester. All right, man, Bandy. Bandy is one of the most positive Leeds fans in the world, I must say. Scooby saying, at least I don't think it will be 10-0 to City. That's what I think as well. I don't think it's going to be an embarrassing scoreline like before. I don't see that coming. But I still think we're going to lose. And if we lose against Man City, there's no shame in that. I'm not saying, never think I'm going to say it's a free hit. I want you to go and do your best and win. But you're talking about one of the best put together teams in the world, not just our country, in the world. So let's see, because we got Arsenal away and Chelsea at home. And daunting as they may look, I mean, Chelsea right now, you don't know what you're going to get from them. They're in a bit of turmoil, with both of their major centre backs leaving for free. No striker, really. Havertz is a little bit quiet. I don't know, but let's concentrate on City first. Someone said, Tom Gatlin just go 9-1-1 against City. Listen, that might not be a bad shout. Paul saying it's going to be tough for the rest of the season. Yeah, Paul, it's going to be tough. Listen, let's not make no bones about it. Yes, unbeaten in 5, 2 clean sheets, but we're still a poor side overall. We can't escape that. That's why we put in a performance like we did today. And thankful we came out with a point. But you have to think, on the flip side of that, I don't think we would have come out with a point like we did today a couple of months ago. I think it would have been another hammering I do. So listen, we have to take the positives from what we have. And I'm afraid, people, this is all we have. We have Calvin Phillips coming back, and he has to have a partner in Mateus Click. And then Click gets taken off at half-time for whatever reason. We've got a left back in Stuart Dallas. We've got a striker in Dan James. We just have to accept this is what we are right now until they can fix this in the summer. So it's all about just keep getting those points on the board as the games keep ticking off. That's what we have to do. Max H, we are at Ellen Road. Don't need a special crazy game. Yeah, if the crowd can do anything, that would be great. But Man City are seasoned vets. I don't think they'll be much intimidated by the crowd. I don't. But imagine if we did pull off a win there. Wow, that would be amazing. But yeah. Nathan Wright saying Marsh ain't it. Needed to sack Bielsa, but I got the feeling he's gone in the middle of next season. Listen, what I will say is we've gone from a manager who made us a whole new club. We did. He got us playing in a very fluid style of play. It's some of the best football I've ever seen. But we are back now with just a manager again. We're back in that cycle where I don't think anyone's really attached to Jesse Marsh at this point. He's just another manager. So if he does go, I don't think anyone's going to go, RC, you shouldn't have sat Bielsa because now you've sat Jesse Marsh. I don't think it's going to be one of those. It's just that it hadn't worked out. But what I would say is just let's see what he does in the summer. I want to see if when he gets his own players in and see what we're going to do, what he can do with his players because these are not his players. None of these guys are his players. Let's be fair to him at this moment in time. Tom saying surely Forshaw has to go in the summer, another long-term injury. Listen, Tom, he signed a new deal in January, so he's going to be here next season. I don't think there is no way. You've seen how the board have moved with a lot of these players that got us up. It's a family. They are not going to sell him in the summer, even though, as I said to a couple of the boys, if he was to go to Bristol City next season, you wouldn't go, oh my God, wow, that's shocking. You'd say, yeah, that's probably fair. But no, he'll be here next season, I'm sure of it. But we have to make sure that he's on the bench. He has to be. We cannot be starting players like Forshaw and stuff next season. Otherwise, we're going to be right back here. And I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this next season. I don't. Um, Jay saying, bless up KG. Phil say Leeds will just scrape it by a couple of points. If we do that, if that's what we have to do. The game is the game. I will take it. I will take it. Lee Waters, no matter what happens from now, it's all stemmed back to if we didn't sack Bielsa 5 managers. I'm from now. Yeah. I mean, listen, there's a huge attachment to Bielsa. I know. But you have to move on. We have to move on now. It's time to move on. I'm sure Bielsa himself has probably moved on now. But yeah. Robbie saying Forshaw is our Mark Noble. That's what he has to get next season, Mark Noble minutes. I guess you guys have heard me talk about Mark Noble minutes, but yeah, he has to get those. He has to play the cup games and games of non-importance. That's what he has to do. We need much better technicians in the middle of that midfield. It's not even up for debate. Mr. P saying Dallas's touch was terrible today. Harrison ineffective. Rafinha marked out of the game. Yep, can't disagree with that. Can't disagree with that, people. Paul. Yep. Paul Gray, big up KG. 11 points from 15. Much more organised at the back. Obviously tough on Saturday, but won't be suicidal man marking like last time. No, it won't be. No, it won't be. And Bandy with a long live Adam Forshaw, man. I think Bandy's one of those. Whoever plays for Leeds has got his backing out. I can respect that. Mr. P with the super chat. Thank you for the donation, my friend. Too many misplaced passes, poor choices. Clicking Calvin over Robin. Raff and Harrison struggle to have an effect in the team in this formation. Yeah, it's because he likes narrow players. And with narrow players, you need attacking midfielders, central, not wingers. And that's going to be the interesting thing for me in the summer to see what he does. But it's very interesting. We're in the chat here. No one's really talking about this Palace game. No one's talking about it. That's how bad the Palace game was. And we've been going for 23 minutes. So I'm going to end this very soon. Let's have a look. Tom Gatlin, Palace have some serious quality young players. They do. And again, it was a good thing that they didn't have Mitchell out there today. Tyreek Mitchell wasn't playing today. I don't know the reason why, but I think Joe Walk came in for him or Nathaniel Klein, one of the two. But again, yeah, he's just another one. Elise, Eze. I know Zaha's not young anymore, but they got some good players. And even Edouard can't even get in the team right now because of Mateta's form. So they're going on the right track, man, Crystal Palace. It's much better to see them under Patrick Vieira than it ever was under Roy Hodgson. Gordon White, well, let's just close up with a few more of your comments, people. I'm not going to make this a long one, as I said. There's just not much to talk about today, and we'll move on to the Man City one later in the week. Gordon White, I think we would have lost that a couple months ago. I agree. I really do. I think we would have too. Let's have a look. Lewis saying Gallagher very quiet today. Evidence of KP's impact. Yeah, that's what I mean. It wasn't a straight man marking job, but you did see wherever Gallagher was, Phillips wasn't far behind. It makes a difference when you've actually got a quality player in there to stifle their quality. So yeah, he didn't have an amazing game, Calvin Phillips. It wasn't a great game, but he's just getting back from a long-term injury. But I thought he did all right. Max H, why was this a Monday night football game? Terrible game. I have no idea, Max. It was there were so many more games this weekend that had more at stake, and they put Palace versus Leeds on. I have no idea why this was on a Monday night. We could have wrapped this thing up on Saturday at 3 o'clock, man. um, let's have a look. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point. Pellegrino, Gallagher, and KP cancel each other out. Very good point, Pellegrino. Uh, Mark Dooley, we stay up. I have no sentiment. Me either, mate. We need to sell a fair few of our championship winners in the summer. Marsh will be unpopular, needed. Yeah, we have to. But this is what I'm talking about, Mark. It's time for uncomfortable conversations that this board haven't had yet. It's time to go to some of these guys and say, listen, either you're going to have to sit on the bench next season, or you're going to have to go because we're getting in players to take your spot. And that didn't happen this season, and that's a big reason why we are where we are, because we've got players that shouldn't be here in the starting lineup in 21, 22. They just shouldn't be here. But let's see if this season has had an impact on them. I mean, I thought it did in December, and they didn't do nothing in January, but so more for me. But let's see what they're about come the summer, because I think it's going to be a huge summer. And just a couple more of your comments just before we lock the stream off, people. Please like the stream as well. We got a clean sheet, that's a positive, absolutely. JG, EJ, tough to watch, but we didn't lose, which I think is vital, absolutely. Lewis, it's a sports club, not a family business, absolutely. Snoop Huggy White, you need to be there for negotiations, KG. Zero tolerance off your try. I would be, man. I would. The thing is, I wouldn't be horrible. It's not even about being horrible. It's just about being realistic of where you want the club to go. It's not even being mean. It's just about being realistic at this point. But yeah, some of them I think need a few couple of truths. So listen, just to end, poor game. Lucky to get a point tonight overall, because Palace were probably good for a win if we're being completely honest. Luke Ayling, best performance of the season by a mile. And yeah, we move on to Manchester City. So, oh yes, John, great point. Should give a young keeper his props, man. Melier was sharp tonight. He absolutely was. Like I said, the double save from Zaha is near post. You know, a couple months ago, those were going in. Remember, a couple of these near post shots were going in, but he was sharp tonight. He definitely was. And he was a big reason why in the first half, it was the one where Cooper was ball watching and the ball went over. Llorente goes into Mateta, I think, and he put them off. He put off the striker. So, yeah, big performance from Melier today. A few of you say Melier man of the match. I can completely understand that. Ayling gets my vote, but I would not argue with Melier either. Max H, Ayling to eat Foden on Saturday. We'll see. We'll see. Scooby say, is this to me, Scooby? But he does love his ballers. We might end up with 10 Letizia. Scooby, I know the balance. Trust me, I've got the balance, Scooby. I got it all. Don't worry, man. We're not just going to end up with just flair footballers and no defense. I got you. I got you. But now, listen, people, we'll end it there. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And we'll be back some point later in the week for a Man City preview. Yes, and of course, congrats on the 5K subs. Once again, I think I thanked you all in the match preview, but got to thank you again for the support on the channel. Hopefully, I've got something coming for you guys as well. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but yeah, just thanks for the support, the continued support that you give me. It means everything. All the likes, all the shares that you guys do. I know people talk about these things as well on some forums. So shout out to all of you that shout me out on there too. So big up to all of you, man. And listen, let's take the point and run, people. See you in the next one.